Hi there, welcome. I'll be doing a 5-card Oracle spread with the Rose Oracle deck today for Friday the 13th. And this will be a spread for the collective. So just tuning into the collective energy of whoever will watch this. And tuning into the energy of the upcoming weeks following Friday the 13th of June 2025. So for our number 1 card, we have Brothers of the Rose, Sacred Masculine, Honor, Protection, Support. For our number 2 card, we have Rose Without Thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. For our number 3 card, we have Morning Dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. For our number 4 card, we have We Are Nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. And for our number 5 card, we have The Anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. Look at that one. And then I'll just go through the spread with you. And we can go into each one of these cards a little bit deeper. And then I'll also just include pictures of the card and pictures of what's written in the book, so that at the end of this video, so that you can actually just pause and read if you'd like, and write down anything that feels that feels aligned, that feels helpful at this time. So this specific spread, this 5-card spread, it's called the Rose, the Bud, the Thorn, the Seed, and the Root spread. And so what it is this first position, this first card that we pulled, this is the Rose card. And so that was the Brothers of the Rose. And this is really tuning into what's blooming right now and the possible future outcome. And so this Brothers of the Rose card is all about the sacred masculine, and I'll read to you about that. But just initially, this really resonates with me, because what I've been feeling coming through for the last couple of weeks is a lot of divine masculine coding. The masculine in the way that we who are adults grew up with thinking about what the masculine is and being taught what the masculine is. A lot of that old masculine way is dying. And we're in the process on this earth of rebirthing a new masculine. And it really feels like, as we're coming up on the summer solstice this year, that there is a big transformation happening within the masculine. And I don't mean like human male necessarily, I mean that too, that also. But this is really about that divine masculine energy that exists within everything, within each one of us, within everything that's in existence. We're talking about polarity. We're talking about these core energies of creation that exist within each one of us and exist within everything. So let's read about that card, the Brothers of the Rose. Um, and just keeping in mind that this is like the present, it's kind of like what's blooming right now. And that definitely resonates with me. Um, so, Brothers of the Rose, sacred masculine, honor, protection, support. This is a card of the sacred masculine. Like the feminine, the sacred masculine exists within each one of us, and together, we're all being called to balance both energies within us. The sun and the moon, solar and lunar. Perhaps this is what it means to birth a new world. The sacred, mature masculine is something so needed in our world. It's the part of us that lives in deep honor and reverence to the feminine. It recognizes the goddess within all of life, including the earth, and is committed to protecting and living in devotion to the feminine. The sacred masculine knows that striving and overpowering, enduring and conquering are not helpful. The sacred masculine is strong, tender, protective, but not defensive. This card could be a sign that you're being called to work on the sacred masculine energy within you that's maturing and rising. It could be that you're being called to work on ancestral healing of the paternal line. It could be an indication that you're being called to invoke or acknowledge the sacred masculine in those around you, or it could represent the sacred masculine appearing in your life. The sacred masculine exists within all of us. They are encircling you so that you can do your sacred work, so that you can be a part of the return of the goddess on this earth. The rose is their emblem, and they wear it proudly on their hearts. And the soul inquiry for this card is, how are you being called to work with the sacred masculine? So this is a question for you to take and just consider. This is something that I've been doing quite a lot of ritual and intention work around the past couple of weeks. And in fact, I'm doing it's interesting that this is the card that was pulled for the present, because I'm actually doing a ritual, doing a transmission and guiding through a ritual next week on Wednesday, June 18th. On over Zoom at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So if anyone watching this that watches it before that time, if you'd like to join us live, just contact me. You can email me. I'll put my email in the here. But yeah, this is really important right now. We have a lot going on with the masculine, and there's a lot of work that we can do for ourselves, for our lineage, and for the collective at this time, with the support of the solar codes of the sun and this season specifically. So even if you're watching after this, there will be a replay available, and I will probably just post it somewhere. So if you are interested in doing that, if that feels supportive, if that feels aligned, just reach out and let me know, and I'll send it to you, and I'll send you the instructions for the ritual as well, so you can do that. But moving on to our number 2 spot here. So our number 2 spot is really representative of the bud, right? So we looked at the rose, this is the bud, and the bud is really asking what's full of promise. So this is the current moment, what's full of promise and current moment right here and now. So this card that we pulled is Rose Without Thorns. And so it's saying you have a right to your joy, your peace, and sweetness of life. So, yeah, that sounds pretty full of promise to me. And so it's like what's full of promise, but also what's in the current moment. And so I'll read the card to you, but I think, this is always an invitation, and this is so important to begin to, on a very somatic, on a very felt sense level, begin integrating joy and pleasure and sweetness into our life, and actually beginning to weed out any aspects of things that we're holding that don't believe that we're worthy of that don't believe that we're worthy of receiving that don't believe that we're worthy of living in that. Yeah. because we really are moving into, we're being invited to move into a reality where things are a lot easier, where things are a lot more joyful, they're a lot more, they're a lot sweeter. And we don't have to work so hard, we don't have to strive so hard, things don't have to be so difficult. But we have to allow ourselves to let go of the programming that thinks that those things need to exist, and that's the way that life needs to be. And that's some deep subconscious reprogramming that we have to work on. So, looking into Rose Without Thorns, let's see what it has for us. Rose Without Thorns. So, most roses have thorns that protect the plant. When you walk past, it's so easy to get caught on their spiky stems, as if the thorns themselves are an initiation for the observer to get to the breathtaking beauty and scent of the queen of all flowers in full bloom. However, there are a small number of roses that are unlike most, possessing few or no thorns, and that's what this card is all about. The Rose Without Thorns is an invitation to dive straight into the sweetness of your life, to rest in the softness, to enjoy the delicious fragrance, to rest in and relish what it means to be currently alive in this body, to embrace all the beauty and bliss that life has to offer. You have a right to your joy, and the Rose Without Thorns wants you to take every ounce of it, and right now, to celebrate and lose yourself in the sweetness of your life. This is a rare moment in time of deep peace and enjoyment. You're being called to taste all that it has to offer, to drink it all in. You deserve every drop. You've worked for this moment. Embrace it now with open arms. It's safe for you to enjoy this, to welcome this, to embody all of this. And while life is ever changing and forever inviting us to grow, right now your lesson is to be in the delight of it all. And the Rose transmission for you is, I have a right to my joy. I appreciate and drink in the sweet nectar of my life. So, always look in your life for where you can appreciate the joy, appreciate the sweetness, and allow yourself to feel that, not just for a few moments, but hold on to that for as long as you can, because when we feel bad, we tend to hold on to that for a long time. But when things are sweet and things are good, we don't allow ourselves to fully feel it. And it's almost like we're looking for something so that we don't feel it completely. So, if we want more of that in our lives, we have to cultivate a relationship to it. Yeah. So, moving on to number 3. And number 3 is the thorn. So, that's what needs to be overcome. Okay, the challenge. And the card that we pulled for the 3rd position is Morning Dew. So clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. And so when we're talking about this in the sense of what needs to be overcome, then this to me it indicates that there's some lack of clarity. There's some things that we've experienced, memories that we have. These may be personal memories, they may be ancestral memories, and maybe negative outlooks, things that have happened that have given us a negative outlook on life, a negative outlook on certain things. And that's what needs to be overcome. I think that that's really what this card is indicating needs to be overcome in order for us to really be able to move forward. And I'll read about this card. But this is something that I talk about a lot that I think is really, really important. And it's why working with the body is so important. Because we hold a lot of memories in our body, both memories of joy and celebration, memories of trauma, things that we've experienced, things that our ancestors have experienced. But when we begin to clear those from the body carries a lot of wisdom also. And the body carries, I say the body carries wisdom, the mind carries knowledge. And the problem with knowledge is that knowledge is based off of previous experience, what you've experienced and what you've seen other people experience. The mind doesn't really create new things. It recycles versions of old things to create things that look new but that aren't really new. when we want to create something new, when we want to like enter into a completely new paradigm and shift completely, we can't go through the mind. We have to access true wisdom, and that's what's held in our body. Um, because we're a fractal of the universe, right? We're a fractal of God, basically. And our bodies carry the wisdom of everything that has been and everything that will ever be. And, this card is talking about like, needing to basically like, things that are holding us back, things that we need to overcome is like this lack of clarity, these old experiences. And the only way that we can do this is by accessing the wisdom in the body, because the body knows a reality beyond anything we've ever experienced. It has access to realities that are beyond anything that our mind has experienced and beyond anything that our, recent ancestors have experienced. So just, just keep that, keep that in mind, um, going forward, and know that it's a key to what we're here to create in this life is being able to tap into true wisdom, not just knowledge. But going to the card Morning Dew, let's see what we have to say about this. Okay, so clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. There's a special moment when the day is new and the sun is still young, when we too are given the opportunity to begin again. The presence of the morning dew welcomes us with the grace of a fresh start, and as the moisture gathers on the rose, it invites us to see things clearly, sometimes in a whole new way than we did the previous day. A new perspective is suddenly here. Healers from all corners of the earth believe in the incredible healing quality of the morning dew. They believe it possesses the same healing properties as the plants themselves, with the dew capturing their essence in clear potency. Practices such as walking barefoot on the morning dew, drinking from the petals of the flowers, and placing dew on the body are thought to bring about powerful shifts in healing. If we're lucky enough to meet the morning in this way, we too may be blessed by the special healing liquid that carries the secret essence of both Earth and the entire universe within it. The morning dew. This card brings the message that clarity is on its way. A new start and a change of perspective are possible. Shifts are coming. The future is looking renewed, hopeful, positive, and bright. Keep focusing on your ideal outcome and trust in the presence of the potent morning dew. And the rose transmission for this card is, I'm open to receiving the potent clarity and shifts of the morning dew. I'm open to seeing the situation with new eyes. So, in the essence of the thorn, just keep in mind where you might not be open to the newness, where you might not be open to positive outlooks, where you might not be open to clarity and fresh starts. And if you identify that, just acknowledge it and, see if you can set the intention to shift that, to be more open, to change. So moving on to the fourth position. The fourth position is the seed. And this card is we are nature. And the seed is what requires nurturing. That's the meaning of this card. And so in what requires nurturing the seed, we got the card we are nature, which is becoming grounded embodiment and living in connection. And yes, I think this is a very, very valid card for this space. Certainly in the collective. This is for me, and I think for everyone, something that we're constantly working to deepen into, is becoming more grounded, becoming more embodied, becoming more connected. This is really, in a lot of ways, what we are learning collectively to do right now. It's kind of like learning how to be human, learning how to become human. We have these aspects of ourselves that are very multidimensional. We have this mind that exists in, so many different places and so many different timelines all at once, and doesn't actually like to be present. most of the time. It's very difficult for most of us to actually remain present, to be in our bodies, to be here, to be grounded. And this is, it is absolutely necessary for us to go through this transition that we're going through on this earth, for our consciousness to expand. It must be rooted in our body. It must be rooted in the earth. That's the whole purpose of all of this. So, good card to pull. Very accurate. But let's read about this position 4, what requires nurturing, the We Are Nature card, and see what it has for us in the details. So, we've built a world on top of the world. If you look up the word nature in a dictionary, you'll see a reference to plants, animals, and landscapes as opposed to humans. We speak of getting into nature or getting grounded as something we need to do. We've forgotten that we don't exist in nature, we are nature. Indigenous earth-based traditions have always seen the planet and all beings as interconnected and sacred, humans as one with the earth itself. The earth and Mother Rose are calling us back to the earth to weave the sacred back in, to weave nature back into the center of our everyday lives, to see ourselves as nature and to spend more time interacting with the living natural world, returning to nature. How's your connection with nature? What's your relationship with your own body? How can you live in a more grounded way? This card is an invitation to develop a deeper connection with the earth, to actively spend time with the physical, natural world around you, to tend it, and to take your place as a custodian of it, to see the sacred in all of life, to notice the changing seasons around you and within you, and to remember that you too are part of the earth's ever-changing landscape, to remember that you are nature and that you'll always find your true nature in nature, to embrace your body as your home and the planet as your mother. And the soul inquiry for this card is, how can you connect more deeply with nature and with your own true nature? How can you return more to the earth? Yeah, this is our work. This is our work. We have all, if you're listening to this, incarnated into lineages that have become very disconnected from our, from this planet, from who we truly are, from our lineages, from our bloodlines. And this is our work, to come back home to who we truly are here. Yes. So, moving on to position 5, the root. And this is the grounded action. So, card 5 is representative of really what we can do here and now to weave all of this in. And the card 5 that we got is the Anointed. Answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. And so, of course, we'll read about this card as well, but just immediately what this brings up for me is really asking yourself, where are you being called? What are you being called to do? Where are you being called to step into more of your power? Where are you being called to step into leadership in something? And notice if, you know, it may be something like you immediately know what it is, or you may not. Sometimes the call for what it is that you're meant to be doing, it's subtle. Sometimes it's not subtle, but we just ignore it. Right? It's there and we do everything else except for that, because either we don't know what it is that, you know, like how to do it exactly step by step. How do I start doing this? Or most of the time, there's a part of us that is just afraid to do it. There's a part of us that says, well, I don't have time to do this, or I don't have the qualifications to do this, or, oh, what will people think, or, you know, blah, 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 it's not compatible with my life, whatever. There's so many different excuses. There's so many different reasons that we don't do the things that we know that we need to do for ourselves, and for the world, for the collective. So this card, the Anointed, It's really asking us to step into our power, to step into roles of leadership, to claim the soul gifts that we came here with, and to start using those gifts in the way that we were meant to in the world. So I'll read about that card now. But yeah, this is a calling for action, most certainly. Okay. The Anointed. Answer the call, leadership, empowerment, soul gifts. Rose oil has been used to anoint initiates through the ages. Royalty too. This card is here to herald you into an even more powerful expression of what you came here to be and do. It's calling you to step forth into your inner queendom and kingdom, to answer the greatest call of your soul and face your true north, to see even more of what you came here to share, to acknowledge your arrival as the initiate of your life, to shed the external noise that may have been stopping you from being all that you already are, to realize that you've been training for this for a long time, perhaps even lifetimes. The path your soul chose to walk is one that few have the courage to walk, and you came here for this. You're being led through this. Your soul is ancient, and with every step you've taken and every body you've been planted in, you've gathered a kaleidoscope of gifts that are ready to be shown and shared. You're being called to deeply trust the call that you've been hearing, to lead, to lead, to lead. The path you're here to pave has not been walked the way you'll walk it. And as with all ancient initiates, healers, visionaries, creatives, and leaders, you're just one magnificent thread in the tapestry of life. So go your own way, trust the road that beckons you forth, and always be led from within. And the soul inquiry for this card is, how are you being called to step forward and lead? So that's your action. Easy to say, harder to do sometimes. But yes, I will take pictures of the cards and pictures of the text in the book and put it at the end of the video so that you can have it all if you'd like to read it, take photos of it. But yes, enjoy Friday the 13th, the day of the goddess, the day of the divine feminine, and enjoy your weekend. Happy Father's Day. And if you would like to join us next week for the Reclaiming the Divine Father Within Transmission ritual, reach out and I will send you the registration link. It is a free event and there will be a replay afterwards. Have a beautiful day.